There are very few names in the automotive world that command reverence quite like Rolls-Royce, and among its lineage, one model stands apart as a symbol of timeless craftsmanship and unrivaled prestige: the Phantom. For a full century, the Phantom has been the flagship of the brand, carrying with it the weight of history, luxury, and a sense of quiet authority that few vehicles have ever achieved. It has graced the garages of kings, magnates, and icons, serving as both a carriage of power and an artwork of engineering. To celebrate 100 years of this remarkable journey, Rolls-Royce has unveiled a creation that redefines exclusivity: the Phantom Centenary Private Collection. Limited to just 25 examples, this edition is not merely a car. It is an embodiment of Rolls-Royce's philosophy, where craftsmanship, heritage, and modern artistry intertwine in perfect harmony. From the very first glance, the Phantom Centenary announces itself with poise and dignity. Its two-tone finish, combining Arctic white with a black upper section and a unique super champagne crystal overlay, creates a mesmerizing sheen. This special finish integrates microscopic, crushed glass particles into the clear coat, producing a metallic shimmer that reflects light like a finely cut gemstone. The paintwork alone feels alive, as if it captures fragments of the golden age of cinema. A deliberate nod to the 1930s, when the Phantom became a symbol of Hollywood grandeur and the chosen ride of silver screen legends. Rolls-Royce describes this aesthetic as an homage to that luminous era, when glamour was not an affectation but a way of life. Crowning the majestic grille is perhaps the most striking element of the Centenary model. A spirit of ecstasy like no other, crafted from solid 18-karat gold and plated in 24-karat gold, this reimagined figurine references the original design that first adorned the Phantom in 1925. Its golden hue is not excessive, but rather a reflection of heritage and refinement, a physical reminder of the marque's pursuit of perfection across generations. Even the Rolls-Royce badges have been given a rare touch of opulence, adorned with 24-karat gold on a white enamel background, a design never before attempted by the brand. The attention to symbolic detail continues down to the wheels, which are finished with a disc-style design and engraved with 25 fine lines, one for each of the limited production units. Together, the four wheels subtly reference the 100 years of Phantom history, merging mathematics and art in a manner that feels quietly brilliant. While the exterior commands respect through restraint and presence, the interior of the Phantom Centenary Private Collection transforms that quiet confidence into a narrative masterpiece. Step inside, and you enter not a cabin, but a gallery of legacy. Rolls-Royce's bespoke division has taken inspiration from the Phantom of Love, a unique 1926 model famed for its handwoven tapestries, to create an interior that celebrates craftsmanship at its highest form. The rear seats serve as the focal point, wrapped in specially developed fabric that took over a year to design and complete. More than 160,000 stitches come together to form a visual chronicle of the Phantom's evolution. A story told through needle and thread. The embroidery depicts scenes of Rolls-Royce's original headquarters in London, classic Phantom silhouettes from across generations, and abstract representations of 7 notable owners from each era. The result is a living artwork, one that transforms the simple act of riding in the back seat into an experience of heritage and storytelling. The front seats carry a different kind of tribute, blending design and symbolism through subtle yet meaningful details. Upholstered in flawless white leather, The seats feature laser-etched sketches that celebrate key moments in the Phantom's history. Among them is a small rabbit motif, a whimsical nod to Roger Rabbit, the code name used internally for the Phantom's 2003 revival after BMW took stewardship of the brand. Nearby, a seagull design references the codename Seagull, used for the very first Phantom prototype back in 1923. These artistic touches are not random. They are carefully chosen fragments of Rolls-Royce's narrative, reminders that even the most magnificent creations are born from imagination and reinvention. As one's eyes move toward the dashboard, the attention to detail becomes even more remarkable. The centerpiece, known as the gallery, houses a bespoke installation made up of 53-dimensional brushed aluminum fins. These fins appear to flow and twist as if shaped by the wind, creating a sense of motion even at a standstill. Embedded within them are sculpted letters that, when read from different angles, reveal press quotes and phrases of acclaim collected from a century of Phantom reviews. It is a poetic gesture. Rolls-Royce paying homage not only to its craftsmanship, but also to the cultural impact its cars have had on the world of motoring and design. Beyond the art and embroidery lies another layer of mastery, the woodwork. The Centenary Edition showcases what Rolls-Royce calls its most intricate wood marquetry to date. Each door panel is finished in stained blackwood, decorated through a fusion of advanced and traditional techniques, including laser etching, 3-dimensional ink layering, and fine applications of gold leaf. These panels are more than decorative, they tell stories through cartography, depicting locations that were central to the life of Sir Henry Royce. The door panels trace the coastlines of La Réole, Canadell, Sur Mer, where Royce spent his winters, and West Wittering, his beloved summer retreat. One of the most notable depictions celebrates a 4,500-mile journey undertaken by a Phantom across Australia, a testament to the car's endurance and legacy of exploration. Even the picnic tables behind the front seats have been turned into miniature canvases, etched with images of the original 1925 Phantom I and the current Phantom V, linking the beginning and present of a century-long lineage. Above it all, quite literally, lies a signature element that has become synonymous with Rolls-Royce interiors: the Starlight headliner. Yet in this special edition, it transcends its decorative purpose to become an artistic expression of heritage. Formed from an astonishing 440,000 stitches, the headliner depicts a mulberry tree, inspired by a photograph of Henry Royce standing in his garden at West Wittering. Hidden among the branches are honeybees and a single bird, delicate details that reward the observant eye. Together with the stars that illuminate the roof, it forms a celestial tribute to the founder's legacy. Serene, timeless, and profoundly symbolic, even under the hood, Rolls-Royce has not overlooked the importance of detail. The engine bay, home to the legendary 6.75-liter V12, is finished in Arctic white, with components accented in 24-karat gold. The choice is as much artistic as it is technical. A celebration of mechanical beauty, not through exposure, but through embellishment. Beneath the golden details lies the familiar heart of power, a twin, turbocharged engine producing 563 horsepower and 900 Newton-meters of torque sent to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. Rolls-Royce has wisely left the drivetrain untouched, knowing that refinement, not reinvention, defines perfection in a machine of this stature. While the engineering beneath the Phantom Centenary Private Collection remains consistent with the current generation model, The experience it delivers feels distinct in every sense. Rolls-Royce's focus here is not to alter performance, figures, or driving dynamics, but to elevate the emotional and sensory connection between the car, its history, and its owner. Every inch of the vehicle is a conversation between eras, a dialogue between the pioneering spirit of the 1920s and the technological mastery of today. When one enters this limited edition Phantom, the separation between past and present dissolves. It becomes clear that this creation was designed less for motion and more for reflection, inviting occupants to experience a century of craftsmanship, innovation, and prestige from the comfort of its hand-stitched seats. The heart of the Phantom remains its V12 engine, a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged masterpiece that whispers its strength rather than shouts it, producing 563 horsepower and 900 Nm of torque. The power plant is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, providing the effortless glide that has defined Rolls-Royce motoring for generations. Yet, in this Centenary edition, the focus is not on the numbers but on the sensation. The engine operates with an almost supernatural smoothness, a mechanical symphony so refined that even at high speeds, one can converse in whispers. Rolls-Royce engineers often describe this feeling as waftability, a term that, while poetic, perfectly captures the floating serenity that only a Phantom can deliver. The silence within the cabin, the delicate hum of the V12, and the fluid response of the powertrain come together to remind its passengers that true luxury is not about excess power, but the complete absence of effort. Driving or riding in this Phantom is an experience that transcends transportation. The car seems to glide rather than roll, with air suspension that anticipates surface imperfections through data collected by onboard cameras and sensors. Each wheel reacts independently, ensuring that the cabin remains composed regardless of what lies beneath. This sense of unbroken calm is enhanced by over 130 kilograms of acoustic insulation woven throughout the body structure, effectively isolating occupants from the outside world. The result is a sanctuary in motion, a moving lounge where time appears to slow and the outside world fades away. Rolls-Royce has long perfected this formula, but in the Centenary edition, the calm is accentuated by the knowledge that one is surrounded by 100 years of artistry and progress. Rolls-Royce's bespoke division has ensured that no two of the 25 examples will be entirely identical. Each is handcrafted with subtle differences, a unique alignment of stitching, a specific arrangement of grain in the wood, or a personal engraving commissioned by the owner. Such nuances ensure individuality within uniformity, allowing each Phantom Centenary to tell its own version of the Rolls-Royce story. For many collectors, this individuality is the true essence of luxury, owning not simply a product, but a piece of human craftsmanship that exists nowhere else. The design philosophy guiding this special edition is rooted in storytelling through material and form. For example, the dashboard's brushed aluminum fins are not merely decorative, they are symbolic of the Phantom's constant motion through time. Each fin carries sculpted letters that can be read in either direction, forming phrases and excerpts from press acclaim spanning a century. These are literal words of admiration, captured in metal, creating a dynamic texture that changes with light and perspective. Rolls-Royce describes this feature as a conversation between past praise and present perfection, an artistic representation of the car's global cultural influence. Moving toward the door panels, the craftsmanship reveals even more depth. The wood marquetry that adorns them combines techniques rarely used together: multi-directional layering, three-dimensional inking, and delicate laser etching. Thin ribbons of gold leaf flow through the natural grain, illuminating the topography of places close to Henry Royce's heart. These details are not for show, they serve as coordinates in the Phantom's visual map of legacy. Each landscape represented, from the English countryside to the French coastline, has historical significance in the story of Rolls-Royce. They are reminders that this brand's roots are not confined to engineering but are deeply embedded in culture, geography, and artistry. The luxury of the Phantom has always been defined by subtlety, by its ability to express grandeur through understatement. The Centenary Edition captures this spirit impeccably. Even in the most extravagant details, there is balance and restraint. Take, for instance, the Starlight headliner's intricate embroidery of the mulberry tree. Despite the complexity of its 40,000 stitches, it does not overwhelm the cabin. Instead, it draws the eye upward with quiet elegance, revealing new details under different lighting. The hidden honeybees and bird among the branches symbolize industriousness and freedom, qualities that defined both Henry Royce and the brand he built. Every element feels purposeful, nothing superfluous. This is design as poetry, where meaning takes precedence over display. The same philosophy extends to the tactile experience. Every surface, from the lamb's wool floor mats to the perfectly balanced weight of the door handles, has been engineered for sensory harmony. The texture of the controls, the subtle resistance of the buttons, and the gentle click of the air vents all speak to a level of detail that borders on obsession. Rolls-Royce engineers measure not only how components look or function, but how they feel, sound, and even smell. In the Centenary Edition, these sensory calibrations have been fine-tuned to perfection, reinforcing the idea that a Rolls-Royce is not driven. It is experienced. Even the air inside the cabin carries a distinct aroma, produced by the natural materials rather than artificial fragrance. The scent of the wood veneer, the leather, and the subtle metallic tones of the aluminum combine to create an environment that feels both contemporary and timeless. When seated in the rear compartment, surrounded by the embroidered tapestry and soft illumination from the headliner, one senses that this is not a car built for destinations. It is a vehicle for reflection, a mobile expression of legacy. As Rolls-Royce marks this centenary milestone, it is also celebrating the evolution of the Phantom lineage. Since the debut of the original Phantom I in 1925, the model has served as a mirror of its era, evolving in form, materials, and technology while remaining true to its core philosophy of serenity and excellence. The early Phantoms defined post-war luxury, offering unmatched comfort at a time when the world was rebuilding. Later generations embraced technological sophistication, introducing advancements that quietly redefined what a luxury automobile could be. The eighth generation Phantom, which underpins this Centenary Edition, represents the culmination of that journey, a seamless integration of craftsmanship and innovation. Rolls-Royce's relationship with its owners has always been personal, and the Centenary Edition takes that bond even further. Each of the 25 vehicles was commissioned through private consultation, allowing clients to specify personal touches within the parameters of the collection's theme. While Rolls-Royce has not disclosed the names of these buyers, history suggests they represent the same diversity of prestige that has long defined Phantom ownership. From monarchs and movie stars to artists and entrepreneurs, The Phantom has served individuals whose lives and legacies echo the grandeur of the car itself. Among its past owners are names like Queen Elizabeth II, Elvis Presley, Marlene Dane Dietrich, Andy Warhol, and even modern cultural figures such as 50 Cent. A testament to the Phantom's universal appeal across generations and disciplines. The Phantom has always been more than an automobile. It has been a cultural statement, a work of engineering that transcends functionality to become art in motion. With the Centenary Private Collection, Rolls-Royce is not merely marking 100 years of its flagship. It is reaffirming what the Phantom represents: the very pinnacle of human craftsmanship. Each of the 25 cars produced is a fusion of mechanical precision, artistic vision, and historical reverence. They serve as both time capsules and ambassadors of what the brand has stood for since its inception: quiet power, effortless grace, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. In a world increasingly dominated by digital innovation and automation, the Phantom Centenary reminds us that true luxury is still a human art form. Every stitch, engraving, and layer of lacquer has passed through the hands of artisans whose skills were honed over decades. The patience required to complete each embroidery pattern, the delicate layering of gold leaf within the wood panels, and the precise casting of the golden Spirit of Ecstasy are all expressions of dedication that no machine could ever replicate. Rolls-Royce has long described its craftsmen and craftswomen as artisans of perfection, and this limited edition serves as a living testament to their mastery. Inside each Centenary Phantom is not only a century of legacy, but also thousands of hours of devotion from those who built it. The Centenary Edition also showcases how Rolls-Royce continues to blend innovation with tradition. The use of three-dimensional printing for the brushed aluminum fins within the dashboard, for instance, represents the brand's embrace of modern technology as a creative tool rather than a replacement for craftsmanship. Similarly, the integration of crushed glass within the Super Champagne crystal paint demonstrates a willingness to experiment with materials in pursuit of visual excellence. These innovations are always guided by the company's principle of crafting the future through respect for the past, ensuring that progress never overshadows heritage. In this way, the Centenary Phantom becomes both a retrospective and a vision for the next 100 years. Despite its celebration of heritage, the Phantom remains a thoroughly modern machine beneath its regal surface. Its aluminum spaceframe architecture, known internally as the architecture of luxury, provides immense rigidity while maintaining composure and comfort. The twin, turbocharged V12, paired with satellite-aided transmission technology, ensures that every movement is effortless, anticipating gear changes based on the road ahead. The suspension system reads the surface in real time, adjusting to maintain the signature Rolls-Royce glide. These innovations are invisible to the eye yet essential to the experience, reinforcing that true luxury does not need to be seen to be felt. The rarity of the Centenary Private Collection only enhances its mystique. With just 25 units built and all already sold, it joins the ranks of the most exclusive Rolls-Royce creations in history. While the brand has not disclosed official pricing, reports suggest each car costs in the region of $5 million, a figure that seems almost secondary to the significance of ownership. For collectors and enthusiasts, the value of such a creation extends far beyond monetary terms. It lies in the symbolism of being part of a century-long story, of possessing a vehicle that represents both the origin and evolution of the world's most revered luxury car. Each of the 25 Centenary Phantoms carries a discrete plaque marking its position within the series, engraved with the inscription, Phantom Centenary, one of 25. For Rolls-Royce, this inscription is more than identification. It is a statement of legacy. Every car becomes a piece of living history, destined to be preserved, displayed, and cherished by future generations. These are cars that will likely spend more time admired in climate-controlled collections than on public roads, yet that is precisely their purpose, to embody excellence so absolute that even stillness feels significant. Beyond the tangible craftsmanship, the Centenary Edition embodies an emotional narrative that stretches back to the origins of the brand itself. When Charles Rolls and Henry Royce first collaborated in the early 1900s, their vision was simple but profound: to build the best car in the world. That philosophy continues to define every Rolls-Royce today. The Phantom, introduced in 1925, was the physical realization of that vision, and over 8 generations it has maintained its position as the benchmark for what a luxury automobile can achieve. Whether serving heads of state, transporting film legends, or appearing in the art collections of modern icons, the Phantom has remained a symbol of continuity in an ever-changing world. As the automotive industry moves steadily toward electrification, many see the Centenary Phantom as a swan song for the era of grand, 12-cylinder craftsmanship. Rolls-Royce is already preparing for a fully electric future with models like the Spectre. But the Phantom Centenary stands as a final, resplendent tribute to the internal combustion age. Not in defiance of progress, but as a reminder of what made the journey meaningful. The golden spirit of ecstasy that graces its hood shines as a beacon of the brand's heritage, even as Rolls-Royce looks ahead to its next century of innovation. Every element of the Centenary Edition has been designed to provoke emotion. The embroidered rear seat panels invite nostalgia, the starlight headliner inspires wonder, and the combination of gold, silk, and crystal evokes reverence. Yet for all its grandeur, there is a humility embedded within the car's DNA, the same humility that defined Henry Royce himself. He often said, "Strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better." 100 years later, that philosophy continues to resonate through every seam and surface of the Phantom Centenary. It is not a car built for extravagance but for admiration, for those who understand that true artistry lies in refinement, not excess. When one reflects on the Phantom's journey, from the roaring 20s to the digital 2020s, its endurance becomes even more remarkable. It has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth of aviation, the evolution of art, and the transformation of technology. Through it all, the Phantom has remained a constant, a symbol of how timeless design can outlast fashion. The Centenary Edition encapsulates that story with unparalleled grace, capturing both the weight of history and the lightness of innovation. To see one in person would be to witness the ultimate expression of human artistry on 4 wheels. The gold Spirit of Ecstasy gleaming under the sun, the shimmer of the super champagne crystal paint, the serene whisper of the V12 engine. Together, they create an experience that defies words. The Phantom Centenary is not simply the celebration of a model. It is the celebration of a century of excellence, of a brand that has never compromised on its ideals. It stands as a reminder that while technology can advance, craftsmanship and vision remain irreplaceable. as the world looks toward the next generation of Rolls-Royce models, this limited edition serves as a symbolic bridge, connecting 100 years of mastery to the promise of what lies ahead. The Phantom Centenary Private Collection will likely never be seen roaring down highways or parked in ordinary settings. It belongs to the rare realm of legend, where history, art, and engineering converge into something immortal. And in that sense, it fulfills the very essence of what Rolls-Royce has always stood for, creating not just cars, but legacies. In the end, the Phantom Centenary Private Collection is more than the celebration of a century. It is the crystallization of a belief that perfection, once pursued with sincerity, becomes timeless. 100 years after the first Phantom set a new standard for what an automobile could be, Rolls-Royce has done it again, with a creation that is not only the ultimate Phantom, but the ultimate tribute to the art of excellence itself.